Hello everybody, I'm Sophie D'Souza and welcome to my channel Sophie's Stained Glass. In today's video you're going to see how Chloe, my student for the last 2 days, although when I say 2 days, 2 half days, how Chloe has made this fantastic piece. And the reason we split the studying over 2 days was because she did some painted work and that takes about 4 hours in my kiln. So she came one day, cut, painted, the next day she leaded. So keep watching for how to make a beautiful piece of stained glass. So you need your fid, your twister knife, your lead cutters, your lead cutters, your lead cutters, your lead cutters. That's probably it. And you may well need grozers to trim as you go.
I remember you saying you like this new orange one.
Yeah, but I do keep reverting to my original one just because, I don't know, something about the familiarity of tools that you enjoy. So this has already been stretched, but the next piece is going to go in here, and when you cut a piece of lead, you inevitably slightly bend the ends down. So what you have to do is just lift it up, and then you'll be able to fit the next piece of lead in there. Here is your next piece of lead, which you get to offer up. That is the end with the markings from the lead clamp. So I would suggest using the other end. I overshoot and mark with my nail, plenty big enough, so it's that one there, and then just give it a chop. Perfect. The only thing I'd say is, like before, this is slightly closed up from the process of cutting it. So if you use your fid like that, it just opens the channel up, and then you won't have any trouble slipping in your first piece. So now that that's done, you have to start nailing it.
And do you stretch every piece of...
Yeah, and because these have already been stretched, you don't need to stretch them.
And why is it that you have to stretch them?
Because lead is soft. Lead doesn't hold its own strength very well. I mean, the thicker the lead, the stronger it is.
So what are you stretching it with?
You pull it away from itself. You put it in a clamp at one end, and you grab hold of it with your grozers at the other, and you pull. And you feel it stretching,
it just gets fun.
And you see it going straight because they're a bit curly and floppy, and then you put it in the clamp, pull it, and it goes sort of stiff and slightly rigid and straight. But these are all offcuts from other jobs, so they've already been stretched like a couple of days ago. And in the end, lead will always relax again, and that's one of the reasons leaded windows don't last forever. They blow, the lead stretches. So you want a piece, a nail in here to stop it coming down, and you want a nail in here to keep it in that direction. So,
and this is the first step.
Yeah, this is keeping your perimeter lead where it needs to be. Well, if you put that there, then you can't fit your first piece in, which is why I did it there. So if you just do it here, you know that that is one of the last pieces that's going to go in. Perfect.
If you were like, if you had accidentally cut with the bumpy side up and then put it all together with some bumpy, some
Mhm,
not. Is it going to create a big issue?
It depends how textured the glass is. You get some very textured glass where it might not work, but and it also depends on the place the panel is going. If it's going sort of at eye height in a front door, it's going to be really obvious. But when I do windows up in the gods for a church, it really doesn't matter aesthetically. I think the first thing we'll do is take a piece of lead all the way around this, and probably the easiest way to approach this is to do it in your hand. If this one will fit, I'm not sure. Right. I offer it up and then I cut that so it's the right angle to go under the lead it's meeting. Now if you're lucky, this might be the right angle or it might not. It looks like it's not going to be the right angle, so we need to cut that off. And you need to cut it in a way that the lead is slightly shorter than the glass, because the next piece of lead is going to want to go over the glass and butt up. Right, we're going to just keep this piece in place while we work with a nail. Now you will be taught, probably by some people, that you have to protect the glass from the nail by using like a thing like that. Let's get this as lined up as possible. I'm really lazy and I often don't do that. I would just quite often put the nail against the glass. I'm a bad person. So,
have you done that and it's just broken?
No, I never have, you see. And I just figure, well, what's the big deal about it if it doesn't actually break? Right. That's probably about as good as we'll get. I'm going to let you do the next piece.
So it's not important that this underneath is completely lined up?
Well, it's not lined up, so there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
If it was too big, we could cut it smaller, but it's too small. So, I mean, when I did that with that panel over there yesterday, it started off way small. And I was like, oh, should I recut? I should recut. And I thought, no, I'll keep going. And by the time I got to the end, it had grown again. Mm-hmm. So actually, it was the right decision not to recut. So we're just going to keep going. Okay. So the next piece, I'm so sorry about there being my blood on all these things.
That's all right.
You're not squeamish.
No.
Right, so let's get the next pieces, which are these. Now, I think what we should do probably is get a piece of lead to go all the way. Let's see, we have to think about where we want the lead to marry up. So the options are to come and finish here and then have this as a single piece of lead, or you can have this as a single piece of lead and have this lead meeting it here.
What do you think will look nicer?
It's quite a tricky area to...
I think if it met here, it would look quite nice.
Yeah, okay. I think, it's probably the easiest way to do it, simply because this is a quite complicated thing, so a shorter piece of lead will make it slightly easier. So what you need to do now is curve a piece of lead round, fit it in there, cut the angles at the end so they butt up, they meet at a nice butt joint. So you do a lot of offering up.
Is that the right end?
Yeah, actually, you find you get more of a problem with the end. Actually, you don't need to do this to the ends because that end is not actually cut in the right angle. You're going to be cutting that. So,
Is this going under that one?
no, it's not doing that. It's butting up. So it's butting up like that.
Okay.
So it's very hard to actually bend round the end. So I often sacrifice the ends because I can't get a nice curve on them. So you're wanting it, if you cut along this line here, we're now going to trim the other end. So you want to come in basically, so this piece of glass sticks out the end of it. So that's where you need to trim. So do you want to try and put that in, and then you'll want a tiny, tiny piece where it joins. It is fiddly as. Are you winning?
Because it wants to be inside it.
Yeah, it does. Is it the right way round? Did I give it you in the right direction?
I
Would it?
think so. I'm not even sure. But is it like that? Like that, surely.
Let's see if it goes. I can't even pick it up. So it needs to be inside that channel. It looks like it's going to fit, but maybe now you've got the lead picked up, fit it into the lead and then see. So it's got to protrude slightly at this end because it's going to fit into the other lead.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly like that. Because it feels like the angle's not going to be right, doesn't it? But maybe it will be. So if you push the lead around so it butts. Okay, that's really good. That's excellent.